If you were the Browns, would you trade up for either Isaiah Simmons or Tristan Wirfs, who are this person's two favorites for the Browns in round one? So we haven't talked a lot about the trade up scenario potentially. Mary Kay, I did a fill in the blank last year where I said I would take calls to trade down. What would you do? Do you think it's wise for the Browns to consider trading up for either of those two prospects?
I probably would explore it for Isaiah Simmons, but I do think that the Browns will have a tackle that they really like that falls to them at number 10. So I don't think that they would have to trade up for a tackle. But if they see that they can get their hands on Isaiah Simmons and then maybe come back later in the round and end up with an Ezra Cleveland or somebody like that, and then you walk away with those two players in the first round, I actually think that wouldn't be the worst idea of the world. In the world. Of course, you don't want to give up a lot of assets, and you don't want to give up the farm to do something like that. But if you can make it happen without sacrificing too much, it's something that I would definitely consider for the defender.
Doug, would you look at trading up for either of those guys?
No. I feel like the depth of talent at tackle and the need at tackle is such a nice fit for the Browns. I'm just assuming Simmons. It's like I'm having a hard time having any Isaiah Simmons discussions because it's like I've said this before. It's like Isaiah Simmons, he's the most talented defender in the history of football. Do you think the Browns can get it? It's like, no, he's going to go at 4. But no, I would not trade up because I don't have the list in front of me. It's not like they have a bounty of extra picks anymore, right? Like I would much rather. I mean, if you're sliding back a little bit because you like multiple guys, but I just don't feel like they're in a position to try to be moving up. Mary Kay's scenario, like Simmons and then a tackle in round 2 is really interesting. And if he falls to 10, I could see entertaining it. I could not imagine giving up assets to go make it happen, though.
And it's not the analytics way to go either. We know that. I mean, they really like to acquire more assets, not give things up. So it's probably unlikely. But if it started to fall into, the 8 range or something like that, and you could pull it off and still get a tackle that you really like, it's something that I would at least kick the tires on.
Yeah, and I think Andrew Berry was pretty clear on Friday that he views the draft as a way to add affordable talent, right? Guys that you're going to control for a long time. So he really values having those picks. And Doug, you mentioned it, as far as their assets this year, really the only extra pick they have is the 3rd rounder that they got from the Duke Johnson trade. But then they also don't have a 5th rounder. So they've got 2/3, a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th. And actually those 6th and 7ths were both acquired in trades as well. So there aren't a lot of assets this year necessarily to work with. And then you're going to start reaching into your war chest in future years when those picks become a little more important because now you're paying big money for guys.
And it does seem interesting, and you guys deal with this all the time. Fans often seem more enthused about trading up than they do about trading down. Like, let me give up more stuff so I can move up, as opposed to let me acquire more things by moving down. But sometimes when you move down a lot, then you have ammunition to move up every now and then, right? And they don't have a lot of ammunition right now. So I think it would cost too much to go do that.
Mary Kay, Ellis, Scott Patsko, and me will text you a few times a day with the inside scoop and analysis on the Browns. We text you breaking news. You get a newsletter every morning with exclusive content. It doesn't show up anywhere else on our website. It only goes to our football insiders. We can text back and forth with you directly. It's a great way to connect with us without going through Twitter or any other social media channels. 14-day free trial.